everybody, Chris Bailey here with Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. And what we're going to do is go through a mini seminar series. And what we're going to start with today is the low back. We see a ton of people for low back, and the numbers of people with lower back pain and leg pain has just gone up over the course of last year with so many people working from home. So I'm going to go over just the basic anatomy of the low back at first, and then what we're going to do is break that down. And this is for our Active at Home series too. So there'll be exercises associated with each of these problems that are behind me. I'll go over in a minute. So at first I just want to go over what is the low back. And when people talk about the low back or the lower back, what they're referring to is the bottom 5 bones of the back, which are called vertebrae, down through here. And in the spine, we have 24 overall vertebrae that go through here. The low back are the ones that are just below the ribs. So where I'm pointing here is from the area from about here to here. And right here, this bone here is called the sacrum. This is at the bottom of those lumbar or lower back vertebrae. And what you can see is in between each of these bones or vertebrae, you have discs. And these discs are kind of like a jelly-filled donut. So we have another little model here. And the red area in between these two vertebrae, and these would be ones that are kind of like in the low back, is pliable. So it can move like this, so we can bend and twist. But sometimes what happens is that disc can slip and go different directions, and I'll get into more about that here in a little while. But when that happens, it can bulge backwards most of the time, and this is the spinal cord here, which goes in between those vertebrae. And it has nerves that come out of the back and go down through here. Most of those nerves go into the leg, into the butt area, and down in the leg. So if they're pinched, that can create that sciatica pain that a lot of people talk about. And then the other thing that you have in this area is the spinal cord in the middle. And sometimes that can get pinched, and that's where people can have pain down both sides. So going back to the other model here, the other thing that can happen is sometimes people get bone formation around some of these nerves, and that happens over time. It's generally called arthritis or stenosis, and all that means is there's a little closing of a hole in through here which can pinch on those nerves. And I'll get into details in the next talk about what that looks like and how to also start to help that problem. So in the next few video series, what I'm going to do is break this down. And from the low back, we're going to go to what does the disc issue generally look like? What do these people present as? How do they get help with both exercise and both from a physical therapy perspective? And what things shouldn't they do, which is one of the most important, to avoid worsening this issue? The other one that we're going to go through in detail is also if somebody has arthritis or stenosis of the low back. And there are many different movements that we can do that can help this. And there are different treatments that can help this, and there are stretches at home that can help this. And then the last part of this, just to simplify it, we're going to go into the other problem that we commonly see, and that's just if there's weakness in through here. And you have muscles that go all along the spine in through here that obviously aren't shown in this model. But they go right along this area. You have the big muscles up in the upper back that also come down and support this region. And if they're weak, that can create just instability in this pillar here. And when you have instability in this pillar, it can result in pain. It can have easier ability to pinch nerves in your low back. So we'll go over what this looks like and how you make this better too. So if you have specific interests, we're going to do these 3 separate videos in the Active at Home series. If it's a disc issue you think you have, check this out. If you have arthritis, watch this. If you don't know, or if you're just generally weak, check this out. And if you just have general questions, it might be good to watch all 3 of these short videos, and then you'll be able to really tell what might be your problem. So click on these next ones, and I'll give you some more information on those. Thank you.